Well, hey there, Elevate friends and family. Mark Pomery here. Welcome you to this week's Elevate Church online experience. Another time together filled with hope, encouragement, even a little bit of stretching. Those of you joining us for the first time, extra special welcome to you. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, because we're here every single week and we want to have you join us on the journey together. Now, speaking of together, we love to worship together. And we have some incredible worship partners that lead us in worship. Today's worship partner is Highlands Worship from Alabama in the US. A couple of their great songs. The words will be on the screen. So how about you join us and let's worship our God together.
Stop singing. Oh, you put this love in my heart, and I won't stop singing.
Me.
lifting up my hands, I'll sing with all I am, God.
Every day in your hands, you were there before time began. Sovereign one, I rest in your plan. From the depths to the dawn, you are there. Your promise is strong. I will trust with all that I am. Jesus, Jesus, oh, how I need you. You stay the same. You are good in your ways. Jesus, Jesus, oh, how I
Hey, so last week we launched a brand new series called Elisha, Live Your Calling. And this is a direct follow-on from the series we taught in January, all about finding or getting more clarity around God's will. It was called God Just Tell Me. And now we're segueing from finding God's will to really digging deep into what it's going to take to fulfill God's will. Because here's the reality. Finding God's will does not automatically translate into His will being fulfilled in and through your life because we have a part to play. And one of the biggest parts we have to play is our willingness to consistently take steps of faith. And last week we started this series really just asking, it was called Are You Playing It Safe? And we asked the question, if yes, if you're playing it safe, is playing it safe holding you back? You know, are you kind of clinging on to the familiar, the comfortable? Probably that's holding you back. So I would recommend either go back, if you missed it, and watch it on this platform, or go to your favorite podcast app and search Elevate Church Perth, and you'll find that message. Really, that sets you up for today's message because there's a lot of context, a lot of history. We unpack the key characters there, which we won't have time to cover off today. So you kind of need to catch up. Then we keep going week 2 today. But anyway, look, we're drawing instruction in this series, as the title suggests, from a guy named Elisha. And now the setting was 9th century BC. And this young man, we find him when he's around 20 years old. He enters the pages of history at a time when God's chosen people, the nation of Israel, they were kind of now ignoring him and living life without guardrails, and actually had started to worship false gods. Okay, so that's the context. It's not good. If you've got your smartphone camera, scan this flow code. It's going to take you to 2 Kings chapter 3. Now, while you're doing that, here's the run-up to where we're going to drop in today. Last week, we looked at the fact that in this time, in this very critical time in Israel's history, God had first raised up a leader named Elijah. And Elijah was a prophet that God used to speak His word, His truth, His perspective to the nation of Israel, often confronting them with some of the path that they were going down. And Elijah was getting to the end of his life on earth, and God instructed him to find a young man named Elisha and invest in him to be the successor. And so we find when Elijah finds Elisha that the next 5 years, and we don't know much about what happened in that period, but we do know that Elijah mentored, invested into Elisha, and now we're going to drop into the point of history where Elijah had been taken up to heaven, and Elisha, you following, is now the man. Now, I'm going to show you this map. You might have to pinch to zoom or just kind of squint. This is the landscape of territories that we're going to be looking at today. So you will see the nation of Israel there. You'll see several other nations, 3 of which feature very prominently in what we're going to discover today. You'll see that there is the nation of Judah, the nation of Edom, not the cheese, and the nation of Moab. Now, for years, the king of Moab had been forced to pay taxes to the king of Israel. Well, the king of Israel died, handed over to his son, and the king of Moab, he saw an opportunity here that he was actually going to just insist that, no, we will no longer pay taxes to Israel. Like, that's it. The old king's dead. That deal is done. Well, the new king of Israel, he wasn't buying that, and he decided to wage war against Moab and actually invited Judah to join him, and then Edom signed on as well. So now we have this situation, 3 nations versus 1, which just on the math alone should have been an easy victory. But, well, As so often happens, things didn't go as planned. On the way to attack the Moabites, this three-nation army, this was the beginning of their experience. The king of Israel, the king of Judah, and the king of Edom started out on what proved to be a looping detour. Can anyone relate to that? This is taking longer than I expected. This isn't the way I thought this was going to go. Yep. Well, after 7 days, they had run out of water for both army and animals. Now remember, they're mostly in the desert in this point. It's not good to run out of water ever, let alone, in the desert. The king of Israel said, "Bad news!" ! Insert understatement. God has gotten us 3 kings out here. Really? Has he? To dump us into the hand of Moab. And I'm sure some of you can relate to this. Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, looping detour, now we're out of water. Money's already tight, and then the car breaks down. Marriage tensions are high, then someone starts talking about divorce. And really what this looks like is things kind of go from, listen, not great, but I can handle it, to this is way above my pay grade. And just like the king of Israel, our prayers can kind of start ending with an exclamation mark. God, I need a miracle, and I need a miracle now, exclamation mark. Or in the case of these three-nation army, God, we need water, and we need water now, exclamation mark. But Jehoshaphat said, isn't there a prophet anywhere around whom we can, through whom we can consult God? Well, one of the servants of the king of Israel said, yeah, I know a guy, Elisha, son of Shaphat. He's around somewhere. The one who was Elijah's right-hand man. Well, Jehoshaphat said, good, a man we can trust. So the 3 of them, the king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, and the king of Edom, went to meet him. Excuse me. Just getting over a little bit of man flu here. Bear with me. But remember, these 3 kings are going to now approach God's new chosen spiritual leader. The nation of Israel, up to this point in history, hadn't been following God. They'd started worshiping others' gods. So maybe you're not surprised to read Elisha's response. Elisha addressed the king of Israel, what do you and I have in common? I mean, go consult the puppet prophets of your father and mother. Like, they were good enough for you up to now. What's changed? Why are you coming to me? You were ignoring God. Now you want his help? It's amazing how many atheists I see on flights that I'm on who get instantly converted in the midst of extreme turbulence. Never, said the king of Israel. It's God who's gotten us into this fix, dumping all 3 of us kings into the hand of Moab. Like, it was his doing. It needs to be his responsibility to undo this. Well, there's a little thing called projection. You made poor choices. Your poor choices got you into a sticky situation. But rather than take personal responsibility, you're looking for someone to blame. Well, what easier target than God? But, before we start judging the king of Israel, you've got to ask yourself, have you ever done the same thing? You thought you could handle it. You thought you didn't need God. Maybe you thought you were smarter than God, and yet when you stopped seeking him for direction, maybe you started making some poor decisions, life got to a place where you thought, I can't actually get myself out of this. And the good news is that your greatest need becomes a gift when it drives you to depend on God, which is exactly where these 3 kings, particularly the king of Israel, found themselves right now. All right. Elisha said, as God of the angel armies lives, before whom I stand ready to serve. If it weren't for the respect I have for Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, not you, king of Israel, I wouldn't give you the time of day, but considering, okay then, bring me a minstrel. Or, some other translations say, bring me a harpist. And it's like, wait, what? I mean, there's 4 nations at war here. The soldiers are out of water. The animals are out of water. The kings are panicking. And Elisha calls for a muso. What is this, a time to put on a concert? Like, here's the final thing you're going to hear on this earth before you all die of dehydration. But whilst it seems super random, Elisha recognized that worship is warfare. See, in the middle of war, one of the most powerful things you can do is worship, because here's what happens. Worship tunes your heart into God's heart. Worship creates space for you to hear from God, even if you hadn't been listening to him up to this point. And worship opens you to receive what you need from God's Holy Spirit: comfort, provision, strategy, wisdom. And then there's these sort of semi-intangibles. Worship changes the atmosphere, and worship actually shifts our perspective off the circumstances, not denying them, but not being so super focused on them that we forget to look up at the God who's not intimidated by our circumstances, not surprised by our circumstances, not subject to our circumstances, not constrained by our circumstances. And in shifting our perspective off being hyper-focused on our circumstances, worship invites God's power. Well, when a minstrel played, the power of God came on Elisha, and then Elisha said, all right, I've just heard from God, and this is what he says. Dig ditches all over this valley. Wait, what? We're praying for water, and God's telling you we need to dig ditches. Well, what's the deal with the ditches? Well, first of all, I think it's God's way of telling them, yeah, you were doing things your way. Now we're going to do things my way. And even if you don't understand fully, you need to obey immediately. We learned that last week. And secondly, I think that digging ditches, and we're going to see, is really about preparation. Over the last 5 years, I've kind of found myself having to undertake a number of painting, domestic painting projects. I'm part of the team at Elevate Church who looks after our facilities, and we've done some painting there. And I actually don't mind the painting part, the brushing, the rolling. I never quite got into the preparation part. The patching, the filling, the sanding, the taping. I literally found that very, very tedious, kind of annoying. And look, if you promise not to tell anyone, I'm willing to admit there may have been some times early on where I skipped some aspects of the preparation. Yeah, allegedly. Then I was watching a home improvement show on TV, and this guy's flipping houses, and he's into this house early on in the process, and he's doing the preparation, getting ready to paint the inside walls of the house. And he said this thing, and I was like, okay, you got me, bro. He said, preparation sets you up for success. Okay. I'm paying attention now. Well, literally, that line has stuck with me forever. And from that day forward, every time I've undertaken a painting project, and I've got a new one coming on next week, I spend, and this is kind of the rule of thumb, just as much time on the preparation as I expect to actually spend on the painting, because preparation sets you up for success. This is one of the reasons it's given that, well established, that a lot of lottery winners, I think it's like the majority, in fact, burn through their winnings in a very short period of time, because they hadn't done the preparation part of developing the skills and the capacity and the discipline to handling and managing finances. And so it literally just slipped through their fingers. Preparation sets us up for success. Of course, by all means, pray for God's provision anytime you need it. But look, while you're praying for God's provision, do an audit and ask the question, have I done the preparation? Have I dug a ditch? And so here's the question we're going to be asking over the next couple of weeks, particularly in our Elevate groups. What ditch do you need to dig to prepare you for what God wants to do? And Elisha said, if you dig the ditches, well, here's what will happen. You won't hear the wind and you won't see the rain, but this valley is going to fill up with water, and your army and your animals will drink their fill. This is easy for God to do. Oh, and by the way, he'll also hand Moab over to you. Notice God didn't answer their prayers when they expected. Notice God didn't answer their prayers how they expected. And has this ever happened to you? God didn't answer when, God didn't answer how. And just honest moment here. And if that has happened to you, and I suspect it has, it's happened to me. Have you ever found that annoying? Like, come on, God, I got a timeline here. Come on, God, I got some ideas. I put my suggestion in the suggestion box. Seems like you're ignoring that. But look, faith doesn't deny what you see. It's okay to have some expectations on the timeline. It's okay to have some thoughts on the strategy. But faith determines who you will believe. Even when it doesn't happen on your timeline, even when it doesn't happen the way that you thought it was going to happen, understand that this, whatever this is easy for God to do, because the stuff that you're wound up about, guess what? God isn't. So, what ditch or ditches do you need to get digging as we're still in the very early stages of 2026 to set yourself up for success, to prepare yourself for God's provision of more and better? So we're increasingly talking about and focusing on the Great Commission, the thing that Jesus said that his followers are to go and do. And you know what it is? If you missed it, it's to go and make disciples. And one of the ways we make disciples is we give them some tools, and then we both demonstrate and teach them how to use them. Well, one of the tools we developed a couple of years ago is our Elevate Church app. You can scan this flow code. It'll take you to the Apple or the Google store if you haven't already got it. And there's some great tools in there. And they're tools you can access anytime, tools you can take with you because they're on your phone. And let's face it, you can probably take your phone with you most places. There's some encouraging stories there. There's our message notes there. There's Elevate group notes. There's our podcast. There's our online experience. There's a few more nifty features there as well. So grab that, take advantage of those tools as you continue to be a more effective disciple of Jesus. On our app and also on our website, there's also a giving section, and I encourage you to get in there, give, make generosity a priority this year, put faith in God's provision and demonstrate that by giving. And we certainly appreciate that because it helps us reach more people and build more people and make disciples just like we need to. Okay, that's it for today. We're going to be back next week with week 3 of our series, Elisha, Live Your Calling. Love to have you join us and love for you to bring a friend, have a little watch party, and let's continue on this journey together.